solving various ratio word problems in our previous lesson, and this is our last video of ratio and proportion topic. In this lesson, we will try more trick questions, more challenging word problems. Then, you ready for your challenge? Let's get started. The ratio of white balls to black balls in a bag is 10:7. 5 white balls are removed, and the new ratio of white ball to black ball is 5:4. How many black balls are in the bag? Now, as always, let's begin with finding our final goal. So you need to find out how many black balls in the bag. Then let's see our keyword. We can see the ratio of white ball to black ball. So white to black ball is 10:7. Then you remove the five white balls from the bag. Then we can get new ratio. New white ball to black ball is 5:4. This is the information we have. Then we need to think about this one. You need to distinguish what has been changed and what's not changed. So things that changed is the, yes, right, number of white ball, and then number of black ball hasn't changed at all, right? So we need to focus on our number of black ball. That is our final goal, and that number is the stay the same, right? So white balls are different, but the number of black balls are the same. So that's why I'm going to distinguish the white balls as an old white ball and the new white ball. Okay, so old white ball to black ball is 10:7. Then I swap it into black ball to new white ball because we are focusing on our black ball. These are the same amount, right? Then look, here the ratio is different as a 7:4, but using our equivalent ratio, we can make the same. So thinking about the lowest common multiples of 7 and 4, that is 28. So we're going to find out our equivalent ratios that has got 28. So 28, then let's see, times 4, that means you need to times 4 on your old white ball. That gives you 40, right? So 40 to 28 is our new ratio. Then black ball to new white ball, you times 7 to make 28, so times by 7 to make 35. So this is our new ratio of black ball to new white ball. That, as you can notice that. Now, what we're going to do is we make 2-term ratio into 3-term ratio because we've got a black ball and that are the same amount. So old white ball and black ball and new white ball, the ratio between them is a 40 to 28 to 35. Then now we need to double check with the information we have. It says from old white ball, 5 balls are removed, right? Then we take away 5, then it gives you 35. That is the right ratio, right? That's why we can say the number of black ball in the bag is 28. Right, next question. 5 penguins weigh the same as 2 seals. A dolphin weighs the same as 3 seals. How many penguins weigh the same as 4 dolphins? This one, final goal is you need to find out how many penguins weigh the same as 4 dolphins. Then let's see, our keyword is, as you can see, 5 penguin and then 2 seal. Oh, I think we can write down our ratio, and 1 dolphin and 3 seals. So ratio of penguin to seal is 5:2, right? And we also can find the ratio of dolphin to seal is 1:3. Then, as you can see, we can see the same part, that is the seal, right? So we can change the 2 terms ratio into 3 terms ratio, and we can see seals are common, right? So let's write our ratio into penguin to seal to dolphin. To make the 3 terms ratio, we need to change the seal into same amount. Let's find our equivalent ratio. Penguin to seal is 5 to 2, and I'm gonna swap it into seal to dolphin because it's easier to see. 3 to 1, right? So now let's think about the lowest common multiples of 2 and 3 to make the number of seal the same, right? So now if the seal becomes 6, then thinking about the equivalent of the ratio, times by 3, times by 3 both, then 15 to 6, then seal to dolphin, times 2, times 2, that is 2. Now as you can see, the number of seals are the same. That's why we can put them together. When you have a 15 penguin, there are 6 seals and also there are 2 dolphins. Then these are the ratio of 3 animals. Then now we've got basic ratio. Now this time we need to focus on the penguin and dolphin because our final goal is the number of penguins. So here we've got how many dolphins? 4 dolphins. Then we doubled it, right? So our equivalent ratio is doubled it. So now the number of penguins is 30. Next question. The ratio of girls to boys in a school is 3 to 4. The ratio of boys that take a packed lunch to those who have a school dinner is 1 to 3. The ratio of girls that take a packed lunch to those who have a school dinner is 1 to 4. What proportion of the children take a packed lunch to school? Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest term. Oh, it's a long question and you can see lots of different ratios. As always, don't panic. You can do it. Let's begin with the finding final goal. We need to find our proportion. As I said, proportion is generally fraction. That's why you need to answer with the fraction in its simplest term. So find the proportion of packed lunch regardless of the gender, right? Now, I think first we need to find our keyword and organize our information because you've got lots of information from the question. So first, we can see ratio of girls to boys. So let's write down. Girls to boy, ratio of girls to boy is 3 to 4. Now, next one, underneath the boys, you've got another ratio. That is packed lunch to school dinner. Ratio of packed lunch to school dinner is 1 to 3. Then underneath the girl, you've got another ratio that is the same. Packed lunch, school dinner, 1 to 4. You've got a ratio of ratio. Yeah, it's okay because we work with the fractional fraction, right? What is that fractional fraction? You times it, right? So now what we need to do is using ratio, we turn this into the fraction, then finding out fractional fraction. Let's see how we do it. Now, what we need to do is we need to find the proportion of packed lunch. Let me rewrite this information. So since this is a proportion, so I'm gonna change the ratio, all the ratio into proportion. Girl and boy, and thinking about the total number of the class, okay? Girl, and then you've got a girl with a packed lunch, girl with a school dinner. You've got a boy with a packed lunch, and boy with the school dinner. And then make sure you need to think about, since we turn everything into fraction, the whole class is 1, right? We begin with 1, then amount of the girl in the class, the fraction of a girl is, yes, there are 3/7 girl in the class, right? Then there is a 4/7 of boys in the classroom, is it right? Then think about among the girls, got a 1/5 of girls having packed lunch, and then 4/5 of girls having school dinner, and again, boys, among 4/7 of boys, 1/4 of boys they are having packed lunch, and then 3/4 boy having school dinner. So let's see. As you can see, packed lunch of girl is 1/5. So you need to think about 1/5 of 3/7 is having packed lunch, right? So we can write down this as a 3/7. So 1/5 of 3/7 having packed lunch, and then 3/7 times 4/5 of girls having school dinner. So let's calculate them. 3/35, 12/35. You add them together, it brings you 3/7 because that is number of girls, right? Now thinking about it now, 4/7, the number of boys is 4/7. Then among them, 1/4 of boys having packed lunch. Simplify, there is 1/7. Then again, 3/4 of boys are 4/7. They're having school dinner. That gives you 3/7. You add them together, same as the fraction of boy, right? Now, let's focus on our final goal. You need to find the packed lunch. So, packed lunch girl, 3/35, and then boy with the packed lunch, 1/7. What you need to do is you add them together, right? 3/7, 3/35 add 1/7 is our common denominator, 35. 3/35 add 5/35 gives you 8/35. So double check with it. It's yes, you don't need to simplify it anymore. Your answer is 8/35. Next question. The amount of red pepper to spring onions in a gazpacho is 1:8. The red onion required is 1/4 of the number of the spring onions. What is ratio of red pepper to spring onion to red onions? So we need to find our 3 times ratio. As I said, final goal is finding the ratio of red pepper, spring onion, red onion. Now let's find our keyword. That is, we can see some ratios here. Red pepper to spring onion is 1:8. Then we can see another ratio of red onion to spring onion. Let's see. The ratio between them is, since it's 1/4 of spring onion, that means 1:4. Because if you get confused, think about this way. So you've got 1/4 of spring onion. That means spring onion is 4 times more than red onion. That's why we can write this into 1:4. Then as you can see, we can find the common part. That is a spring onion. Then we can make these 2-term ratios. Yeah, we put them together to make the 3 times ratio. Red pepper to spring onion 1:8. Spring onion to red onion is, let's swap it, 4:1. Then let's see, we've got a spring onion. Let's make it into the same number by finding the equivalent fraction. We can put them together. So 1:8, you just doubled it. Then it can be 8:2. So 8, the same, right? So let's put them together. Then our ratio is 1:2, spring onion 8:2, then red onion is 2. Now this is our ratio of 3 vegetables. 240 people attend the school fair. The ratio of adults to children is 2:3. The mean amount of money that a children spends at the fair is £5. The mean amount of money that each person spends is £12. What is the mean amount that each adult spends? So I'm gonna say this is tricky because you've got a ratio, at the same you've got a mean. So let's always begin with our final goal. That is, you need to find the mean amount of adult spending. Now let's check our keywords. We've got a 240 people in the fair. The ratio between the adults and children, 240 people, adults, children. Then we need to find out the numbers of adults and children. But as you can see, there is a ratio between them. This one you need to think about, yes, this is a sharing total because you've got a total amount and you've got a ratio, right? So using the ratio, we can find the amount of the children and adults. Then now next one is you've got a mean. Say mean is the sort of average, right? Then think about how can you find the mean. First, to find the mean, you need to know about the number of people. So let's find how many adults and how many children first. So as you can see, the ratio between the adults and children is 2:3. So let's change this into fraction. So 2 out of 5 shares, 2/5 of 240 and 3/5 of 240. That gives you the number of adults is, when you calculate it, 96, and then that is 144. Then we found the number of children and adults. Think about mean. As I said, how to calculate mean? So mean is you always divide the total amount of something. You divide total amount of something by the number of the case or number of something, right? So as you can see, mean of children spending, how many children there are? We've got 144 children. Then we divide this into the total spending of children. So we don't know it, let's put it into box. So the total spending, if we don't know it, but at least we know that mean of children, one children spend, average spending of one children is £5. Oh, so cross method, right? Because 5 is 5, 1. That's why. So we timestamp to calculate the total amount of money spending by children. Say that is 44 times 5. Then I calculate it for you. It's £720. So you can write £720 that is spent by children. Let's calculate, let's say mean of person. That means what? You've got a total amount of people in there is 240 people in there. Then the total amount spent by all the people here is missing value, right? Then at the end we know that average of spending per person is £12. Then let's find it out. So cross method. So your missing value is equal to 12 times 240. That gives you £2,880. So we found out the total spending in the fair is £2,880. Then now our final goal is we need to find out mean of adult spending, right? So we know that how many adults in the fair? 96 adults. That we need to think about how much money did adults spend in the fair. But we can figure it out. Now we know that total spending is 2,880. Then we take away children's, then we can get adult spending, right? So that is 2,880 take away 720 gives you £2,160 spent by adults. So now let's calculate it. I'm going to calculate for you. 2,160 divided by 96 is 22.5. So our answer is £22.5. That is the average spending of the adults. Okay, this is the end of the ratio and proportion topic. Then, what type of ratio or proportion question you face now, I'm pretty sure you can solve them confidently, right? So, as always, thank you for your effort and thank you for your focus, and I will see you on different topics. Bye!